Founder's Cross. The Founder's Cross was established by His Excellency Most Reverend Thomas M. O'Leary, Bishop of Springfield, the first president of the College of Our Lady of the Elms, and has been awarded to a four-year member of the senior class with highest grade point average since our first commencement on June 13, 1932. The 90th awarding of the Founder's Cross goes to a student who has been working diligently and unceasingly hard for 4 years to reach the highest achievement celebrated this morning. This student has made a lasting impact on the college through her academic excellence and leadership. In the future, I am sure she will affect positive change in the community and in the world. I am pleased to announce that this year's recipient is Shaughnessy Docekal.
Woo! Woo!
Shaughnessy from Grafton, Mass. will graduate with a degree in Communication Sciences and Disorders and a minor in Psychology. Shaughnessy has received the Monsignor Fagan, Monsignor John F. Conlon, and Monsignor Bernard S. Conity Awards for highest academic achievement. She received the Marion Kennedy Sweeney Award for academic achievement and leadership in Communication Sciences and Disorders and was inducted into Delta Epsilon Sigma. Shaughnessy is the president of the Elms chapter of the National Student Speech, Language, and Hearing Association, and she has been a peer tutor in the Center for Student Success. And she found time to volunteer as a Girl Scout leader in her hometown. Shaughnessy, please come forward to receive the Founder's Cross from Dr. DeMay and to give the Class of 2021 student address.
Woo! Probably heard that.
Hello everyone. I am humbled to speak to you today as your Class of 2021 valedictorian. Before I begin, I personally want to thank my own parents, grandparents, and the parents, family members, and friends of everyone who got us all here today. Well, a speech. A rather daunting task. So I did what any college student would do in my position. I asked Google. They say a good valedictorian speech needs to discuss an event, occurrence, a happening, something that unified our entire class. I thought to myself, what on earth happened this year that affected my entire class? Surely there could never be a singular event that would have an impact on absolutely everyone. You know, this year it was just so charming and calm. Well, no. Needless to say, this year, I did not need to spend my entire evenings rustling through my email, trying to find an announcement that I could use, overthink my choice for a whole hour, change it a couple times, and then end up on what I started with. I think it goes without saying what united us this year. We all know. I know what you're thinking about right now. Every negative impact the pandemic has had on the academic year has just come back into your mind, including that one Zoom call where no one would hang up so we all just stared at one another. But I raised you another thought, mostly to clear out whatever negative thought I just brought up. I think, most of all, what brought us here today and united us is our grit. Now, you may be wondering, what is grit? I promise I won't use the dictionary definition to explain this, another recommendation of Google, but instead, a quote from a forefront researcher about grit and how it leads to success, Angela Duckworth. She says, grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. In her words once more, grit is living life like a marathon, not a sprint. I don't know how about all you feel this year, but I personally felt that this year alone was an ultra marathon, or maybe even a triathlon where the bike was on fire. And yet, we persisted and persevered, and here we are today. So, how do you create grit, obtain it? We know we have it, given we're here today. But what makes grit? What are the attributes that someone needs to have to be, well, gritty? Although research is still developing, we know 4 things about grit. It takes guts, it means being honest, persevering against all odds, and recovering in the face of adversity and feeling profound purpose. Now let's back up a moment and take this step by step. Courage. The ability to speak up in a Zoom breakout room when everyone is staring at one another. The ability to do your schooling even when it seemed impossible. Conscientiousness. The ability to honestly apologize when your family just busted into your room while you were on camera. The ability to adhere to what you believe in, even when you stand alone. Persevering. The ability to continue class, even though you said something and you weren't on mute. The ability to keep going, even in moments when it seemed like it wouldn't be better. Resilience. The ability to recover when that test was absolutely not the format that you thought it was and not on what you studied. The ability to return to standing tall and stand up against injustice in day-to-day life. Passion. The ability to learn your course material, not only because you have to, but because what you studied was rooted so deeply in your values, interests, and passions that it called to you. Grit. The ability to continue onward. The ability to move forward with courage while being conscientious, persevering through the worst of times, showing how resilient we are while bolstered by true passion. And well, in all of our years, and especially this year, we were gritty. So here we are. Through all these things that this past year and years thrown at us, we persisted. Through every changed plan, through every altered course, and through every I can't do this moment, we persisted. In times that seemed the hardest, and I'll be honest, this year was hard. We persisted. So I ask you not to look back on this year and reflect only on the bad, the missed, and the change, but instead to reflect upon the moments, no matter how small, that we had grit. So, class of 2021, whatever journey that calls to you now, go forward with grit. Go forward knowing that whatever you come to face, you can and will persist. Let passion be the fuel that drives you forward. Congratulations, class of 2021. We made it.
Woo!